Okay, so get this. We're diving into a country today that's only slightly larger than Washington, D.C.
You're kidding.
Nope, you heard that right. Get your virtual passport ready because we're off to Liechtenstein.
Always wanted to go there.
And more specifically, its capital, Vaduz.
Vaduz.
We're armed with 2 travel guides, both promising a trip packed with charm history and maybe even a dash of the unexpected.
Sounds like fun.
What do you say we jump right in?
Let's go for it. What's fascinating about Liechtenstein is that it often gets lost in the shadow of its larger neighbors.
Switzerland and Austria.
Exactly. But these guys make a compelling case for why this tiny nation deserves a spot on your travel bucket list.
It's like that little dot on the map you always wondered about, right? But before we get lost in the winding streets of Vaduz, set the scene for us. What are the must-knows about this pint-sized principality?
Well, first off, you'll want to brush up on your German.
Of course.
That's the official language. And here's a fun fact for you. While Liechtenstein isn't part of the European Union, it does use the euro.
Talk about convenient.
Right. Plus, no need to worry about passport control if you're already within the Schengen area.
Right, the Schengen area, which is essentially
a group of 26 European countries that have abolished passport and border control at their shared borders.
Okay, so no visa headaches, got it.
Right.
Now, these guides both focus heavily on Vaduz, and with a population of under 6,000, it's got to have a completely different vibe from other European capitals.
Absolutely. Imagine strolling through a city center where you don't have to dodge crowds or jostle for space.
I like the sound of that already.
It's intimate, peaceful, and surrounded by those stunning alpine views you always see in postcards.
Sounds idyllic. But let's be real, if I'm going all the way to Liechtenstein, I want to see that castle.
Which one?
You know the one I'm talking about.
Oh, absolutely. You can't miss Vaduz Castle perched majestically on a hill overlooking the city. It's like something straight out of a fairy tale.
I can imagine.
Sadly, you can't go inside as it's the private residence of the Prince of Liechtenstein, but the views from the nearby viewing platforms are truly breathtaking.
Really?
We're talking panoramic vistas of the city, the Rhine Valley and the majestic Alps stretching out as far as the eye can see.
Okay, I'm sold. But picture this.
Yeah.
It's me. I've just experienced the grandeur of Vaduz Castle. Where do I head next to soak up more of that historical charm?
Well, according to our trusty guides, you'd be remiss not to pay a visit to the Vaduz Cathedral, also known as St. Florent Cathedral.
A cathedral?
Yeah, it's this beautiful neo-Gothic structure right in the heart of the city.
And what makes this cathedral stand out? Because Europe's got a lot of churches, you know?
Right, but this one has a more understated elegance. It's not as ornate as some of the massive cathedrals you might find in other European capitals.
I see.
But its simplicity is part of its charm. It's a great place to escape the hustle and bustle and just soak in the peaceful atmosphere.
I can get behind that.
The guide mentions its acoustics are supposed to be incredible, so maybe see if you can catch a choir performance while you're there.
Okay, I'm adding that to my itinerary. Church, check. Castle, check. Wait, is that a football stadium I see in the guide?
You bet. Don't underestimate this tiny country. The Rheinpark Stadion is home to both the Liechtenstein national football team and FC Vaduz. And let me tell you, the atmosphere during a match is electric.
Wow.
It's a chance to experience the national pride firsthand.
Okay, that's unexpected. From peaceful cathedrals to roaring crowds, you know what they say about good things coming in small packages, right?
Exactly. And speaking of variety, Liechtenstein might be small, but it's got a surprisingly diverse museum scene.
Museums in a country this small. Okay, I'm intrigued, but color me skeptical. What kind of treasures are we talking about here? Museums in a country this small.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but color me skeptical. What kind of treasures are we talking about here?
Well, for starters, there's the Kunstmuseum Liechtenstein.
Okay, that's a striking modern building that houses a really impressive collection of modern and contemporary art. We're talking big names, too, from Warhol to Picasso.
Okay, that got my attention. Any pieces in particular I should be looking out for?
Both guides highlight this one fascinating piece by artist Joe Milan.
Okay.
It's actually a scaled-down replica of the entire country of Liechtenstein. And get this, it's made entirely out of cardboard boxes.
What?
Yeah, it's supposed to be this playful yet thought-provoking commentary on consumerism and national identity.
Okay, a cardboard box country. I need to see this. What else have we got?
If you're even remotely interested in history, the Liechtenstein National Museum is a must-visit. It takes you on a journey through the country's past, from its early beginnings to its modern-day incarnation. You'll find everything from ancient artifacts to historical documents, traditional costumes, and exhibits on Liechtenstein's unique political system.
A crash course in all things Liechtenstein. I like it. But you know me, I've got to ask about the quirky stuff. The guides did promise a few surprises.
And I think I found it, the Post Museum.
Okay, hold on. A museum dedicated entirely to the Postal Service.
You'd be surprised. It's actually way more fascinating than it sounds.
Really?
Apparently, Liechtenstein has this long and storied history with postage stamps. They're actually quite famous for them. The museum delves into the artistry of stamp design, the evolution of postal routes, and even the stories behind some of the world's rarest stamps.
I have to admit you've piqued my interest. Who knew stamps could be so compelling?
Right. It's these unexpected finds that make traveling so rewarding. And speaking of unexpected, there's a whole other side to Liechtenstein that I think you'll appreciate.
Oh, do tell. I'm all about getting off the beaten path.
Well, beyond the charming streets of Vaduz, you'll find some of the most stunning natural landscapes the Alps have to offer.
Right, almost forgot we were in the heart of the Alps for a second there. It's not all museums and castles, is it?
Not at all.
Yeah.
The guys both rave about the hiking trails.
Okay.
Imagine this. You're winding your way through lush forests, wildflowers blooming all around you, and then you reach a clearing, and bam, breathtaking views of the Rhine Valley open up before you.
Okay, you had me at wildflowers, but let's say I'm more of the athletic type. What about something with a bit more, adrenaline?
Liechtenstein has got you covered. Mountain biking is huge there.
Oh,
You can rent bikes and explore miles of trails from gentle slopes to more challenging mountain passes.
see, this is what I'm talking about. This tiny country is like a choose-your-own-adventure novel come to life.
It really is. And it doesn't stop when the snow falls.
Hold on, are we about to talk about winter sports? Because I'm more of a curl-up-by-the-fireplace kind of guy when it comes to winter.
Oh, they've got that too, don't worry.
Yeah.
But for those who do embrace the chill, Liechtenstein has a few surprises up its sleeve.
Okay, so you're telling me this landlocked nation tucked away in the Alps is more than just charming cities and summer hikes. I'm genuinely curious now.
You'll be impressed. Remember that village we mentioned earlier, Sean?
Yeah.
Well, just a hop, skip, and a jump from Vaduz, you'll find Melbourne,
Melbourne.
a picturesque village that transforms into a winter wonderland when the snow falls.
Okay, I'm picturing snow-capped chalets, maybe a mug of hot chocolate by a roaring fire. Cozy vibes.
Got it. But imagine adding some downhill thrills to that picture.
Downhill?
Melbourne has slopes for skiers and snowboarders of all skill levels, from gentle runs perfect for beginners to more challenging slopes for those who like a bit of an adrenaline rush.
All right, I can see why people might be surprised by that.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned something about quieter winter activities, too. Don't leave me hanging.
Oh, absolutely. If hurdling down a mountain isn't your thing, Liechtenstein offers something a bit more serene: snowshoeing and cross-country skiing.
Okay.
The guides highlight this one particular trail that winds through a snow-covered forest, passing by frozen waterfalls and offering incredible views of the surrounding peaks. It's supposed to be absolutely magical.
Magical. Huh. You've definitely got my attention. Let's be practical for a second, though. Getting around in this winter wonderland, are we talking rental cars or...
Good question. Honestly, unless you're planning on venturing out on those more remote mountain roads, you can ditch the car entirely.
Really?
Liechtenstein has an excellent public transportation system, and the buses are incredibly reliable, even in the snow.
Speaking of getting around, I have to ask, how are we even getting to Liechtenstein in the first place? Do I need to pack my hiking boots and board a plane to where exactly?
No need for hiking boots just yet. The closest airport to Vaduz is actually just across the border in Switzerland. Flughafen, St. Gallen-Aldenrhein, is only about 33 miles away, making it a super convenient option.
So quick hop from Switzerland, we're in the heart of Vaduz, I can dig it. Any other options for those of us who enjoy a good scenic drive?
Absolutely. If you don't mind a slightly longer drive, Bodensee Airport Friedrichshafen in Germany is another great option. It's a little over 50 miles from Vaduz, and the drive itself takes you along the shores of Lake Constance. So you're in for some pretty stunning scenery along the way.
Okay, I'm already picturing the road trip playlist.
Yeah.
Now, before I get carried away, any final tips from the guides on how to make the most of a Liechtenstein adventure?
They both agree shoulder seasons are the sweet spot.
Wait, hold on, remind me. Shoulder seasons we're talking.
Spring and autumn.
Right.
You'll enjoy pleasant weather, fewer crowds, and you're more likely to snag those coveted deals on accommodations.
Makes sense. So to recap for our listeners, what have we learned about this little gem nestled in the Alps?
Well, we've learned that Liechtenstein is a country of contrasts and surprises. It's a place where you can find peace and tranquility amidst breathtaking natural beauty, where historical castles coexist with cutting-edge museums, and where you can challenge yourself with alpine adventures, or simply relax and soak in the charm of its tiny capital.
Exactly. It's proof that the best things often come in small packages. From the majestic Vaduz castle to the surprisingly fascinating Post Museum, from the thrill of skiing in Malbin to the serene beauty of a snowshoe hike through a silent forest. Liechtenstein offers an experience that's both unique and unforgettable.
Plus, don't forget those convenient airports and excellent public transport options.
You're right, getting there and exploring this tiny nation is a breeze. So our final thought for you, dear listener, is this. When planning your next European adventure, don't just skim over those seemingly insignificant dots on the map. Sometimes it's the smallest destinations that hold the biggest surprises. Who knows, maybe Liechtenstein is calling your name.